Porkpork and Hamham lost in city. A happy story to present to all lovely family and kids. Copyright 2023 Hap Kids, all right reserved. Now, place your phone screen down and enjoy the story. Once upon a time, in a cozy barn in the countryside, two young pigs named Porkpork and Hamham lived with their loving parents. One night, as the moon rose high in the sky and the stars twinkled above, it was time for the two little pigs to go to sleep. But as their parents tucked them into bed, Porkpork and Hamham started to grumble. "We don't want to sleep in this old and boring bed," Porkpork said, snorting. "It's uncomfortable and it smells funny," Hamham added with a frown. Their parents tried to explain that it was the best bed they had, and that they had to go to sleep, but the two little pigs were determined to find a better place to snooze. So, they snuck out of the barn and started wandering into the night. Porkpork and Hamham walked and walked until they found themselves in a big, bustling city, filled with bright lights and strange sounds. They were amazed by the sights and sounds, and soon forgot all about their sleepy eyes. As they wandered through the streets, they saw all sorts of interesting characters. They met a group of ducks who were playing music on the street corner and dancing to the beat. Porkpork and Hamham couldn't help but join in the fun, shaking their tails and snorting with glee. They also stumbled upon a friendly cat named Mr. Whiskers, who was taking a stroll through the city. Mr. Whiskers showed the curious pigs around, pointing out all the best sights and sounds of Porksville. He even took them to a fancy restaurant where they sampled some of the finest cuisine in the city, including a delicious plate of roasted carrots and apples. But Porkpork and Hamham's favorite new friends in Porksville were a group of mischievous raccoons who lived in the city park. The raccoons loved to play pranks on the humans, and they thought it was hilarious when Porkpork and Hamham joined in. They snuck up on unsuspecting pedestrians and tickled their toes with their curly tails, causing them to jump and laugh. Porkpork and Hamham were having so much fun with their new friends that they forgot all about their homesick feelings. But in the end, they realized that nothing could replace the comfort and love of their own family. As night fell, the two little pigs began to feel lost and lonely. They had no idea how to get back to their barn and their parents. They started to worry and wonder if they would ever find their way back home. Just as they were starting to despair, they saw their parents in the distance, calling out their names. The two little pigs were overjoyed to see their parents, and ran towards them with big smiles on their faces. Their parents hugged them tightly and scolded them gently for running away, but were relieved to have found them safe and sound. "We missed you so much," their mother said, stroking their hair. Porkpork and Hamham felt guilty for causing their parents so much worry and promised to always listen to them and never run away again. And with that, they happily went back to their old, but cozy and familiar bed, realizing that there's no place like home. From that night on, Porkpork and Hamham slept soundly in their bed, knowing that no matter how uncomfortable it may seem, it was still the best place in the world, because it was their home. They never forgot their excitement. It has come to the end of today's story. Porkpork and Hamham have a lot of stories to be continued. Stay tuned. Thank you for listening to the story, and remember to follow Hap, Instagram, HapKidsOfficial, and you will have more.